Good morning, everybody. I hope you had a great weekend. I'm glad to be back here in class. And you remember in the last couple of weeks we've been studying about what we call in English the present tense. The present tense means something that you do over and over and over again. For example, to review, you would say, for example, every morning I Pedro, brush my hair every morning, over and over again. It's repeating over and over again. Every Tuesday, correct, Maria, I read my book. Every day I read my book. But what happens, Pedro, if I'd talk about Maria? What do you say? Every Tuesday, Maria, right, don't forget the S. Maria reads her book. Remember the story I told you about Adam and Eve and the snake? And he and she have to have an S on the end of the action word or the verb we say. So every morning, Maria, correct, sets her alarm. Remember that S, sets her alarm. And every Saturday, Jose cleans the wall. Every Saturday, Jose cleans the wall. Again, over and over and over again. And every morning, the passengers on our ship, many of them, every morning, over and over and over again, for a whole week, right, Stefan, they eat cereal. Every day they eat cereal. And every morning, who works as a busboy? That's right, you work as a busboy, Jose. Every morning, Jose sets the table. Every morning, Jose sets the table. So we all understand in English when we repeat something, we say over and over again. You know my hand signal, over and over again. This means every day, every week, every year, every month, over and over again, you do something. So now we're going to talk about something that you haven't done and you will do maybe tomorrow. Maybe you will do it next year. Maybe you will do something in February. Maybe you will do something at 4 o'clock later. You will. All right, so will is very easy to use in English because you don't have to change anything. Even when you have he and she, you don't have to put any S's on anything. It's very, very easy. So for example, tomorrow, correct, Maria, tomorrow who can say the whole sentence? Very good. Tomorrow I will eat cereal. Tomorrow. Not right now. Not over and over again, but tomorrow I will eat cereal. And tomorrow, Javier, what will you do? Tomorrow, Javier will, correct, Javier will set the table. And tomorrow, all of us, right, we will study English tomorrow. At what time? We will study at 9 o'clock tomorrow. So when you see me do like this, that means later, Gator. That means tomorrow, next week, next year, next month, in 2010, maybe Wednesday. So future, later is will. So let's try a couple of more things. All right, what is this? Of course, my trusty alarm clock. I know, Javier, you don't use an alarm clock sometimes so you're late for class, but that's okay. I know you all work very hard on the ship and you're a little bit tired. But usually every day I set my alarm. Tomorrow I also will set my alarm. It's very easy. You just say will plus whatever you're trying to show for your action. And what about Maria? Maria, tell me something that, a time that is later. Correct. Wednesday night, Maria will read the book. Will she? Yes, she will. Tomorrow night, I will read the book. Question, will I? Yes, I will. See how easy it is? You just say, will you? Will she? Will, how about we? Correct. Will they? Will Maria? She? Will Jose? He? Excellent. Will he? Will she? It's very, very easy. And of course, tomorrow on Saturday, Javier will clean the wall. Not right now, not over and over again, but tomorrow he will clean the wall. How about these pretty flowers over here? Thank you very much, Maria, for bringing them to me. I really appreciate it. The flowers are thirsty, so the flowers need water. So tomorrow at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, tomorrow, Javier and Maria will water the flowers. Ask a question for me about that, Javier. Correct. Will they? Will we water the flowers? Answer, yes, we will. So if you go up to a client, a passenger on the boat, and you want to make sure that they're going to eat tomorrow at the same time, what can you say? Tomorrow, will you eat at, tell me a time, 7 o'clock. Tomorrow, will you eat at 7 o'clock? Very good. So, again, tell me some other things that show later. Who can give me some more expressions? All right, Stefan, tell me. Next year. Very good. Another one, Maria. Next week. Excellent. How about you, Javier? Tomorrow, we already said. Okay, look at your watch. What time is it now? All right, tell me something that can show later, future. Very good. 2 o'clock. At 2 o'clock, we will eat lunch. At 2 o'clock, we will eat lunch. And again, if you want to ask a question, you only do a switch. Will you? Yes, I will. Will she? What's the answer? Yes, she will. Will he? Yes, he will. You just flip it back and forth. It's very, very easy. You can use this on many of the words that we use to show over and over and over again, every day, every week. However, in this case, again, remember there's no snake. You do not have to put an S on the verb like you do for he and she. Remember the Adam and Eve story, but for future tense, for later, for tomorrow, for next year, next week, at 5 o'clock, later, you don't have to put anything on another word, no S's. Only you put will plus whatever you're going to do. So again, Javier, ask Jose what he will do today for lunch. Remember, will you? Yes. Will you, what is this? Set the table. Very good. Will you set the table? Javier, maybe today you don't have to work at 2 o'clock. So what do you say? No, this is a trick. You can say, no, I will not, but you can also say, no, I won't. See how easy it is?